Aries, April is a month that has a lot to do with you, especially because the sun is in your sign at the beginning of the month. There's going to be plenty of opportunity to focus on your needs, your wants, your desires, your goals, and maybe even your physical body and your appearance. There's also going to be ample opportunity for you to address any relationships, specifically around the time of the full moon. However, I think one of the most important factors of April is that it is going to allow you unique opportunities for healing, specifically as it relates to self-esteem and self-worth. So if you want to know more about what April has in store for you, stick around. You definitely don't want to miss. What's going on, Aries? As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Mel, your new favorite astrologer, and I'm the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So this channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, so you always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, my love. So this is going to be the monthly astro forecast for the sign of Aries for April 2023. So the astrology portion, well, let me back up. So in this video, I'll be doing an astrology forecast, plus I'll be pulling some cards to get a message for you from Spirit. So the astrology portion is always done by rising sign. However, I find that people often resonate to the astrology portion by their sun sign. So being that this is the Aries video, if you are an Aries sun or rising, I find that this video is definitely for you. And if you want to catch any of the other signs for April 2023, I'll leave the link to the playlist in the description box below. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it and discuss exactly what April has in store for you. All right, so for you, Aries, you've got the following areas of focus. You have a focus on your first house of self, your second house of money and assets, and your seventh house of relationships. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so April is definitely a month that has a lot to do with you because it is Aries season, at least for the beginning portion of April. So for those that are Aries suns, happy birthday. I wish you nothing but the best for this new revolution around the sun. All right. So being that it's your birthday, you know, it's all about you. You want to maybe change up your look, celebrate yourself, all that good stuff. But even if you're an Aries rising, the fact that the sun is in Aries means that it's in your first house. So it's still all about you as well. So this is the time when you focus on, like I said before, your appearance, when you focus on, you know, any goals that you want to achieve, your body, your outlook on life, all of that good stuff. All right. So like I said, this is a heavy focus on your first house, particularly at the beginning of the month. All right. So live it up. All right. Now, also in Aries, we've got Chiron and we've got Jupiter. So there's going to be a very unique opportunity for you guys to heal this month, especially as it relates to self-esteem and self-worth. Okay. So not only do we have the sun in Aries, we've got Chiron and Jupiter, like I just said, plus the new moon solar eclipse is going down in your first house. So a lot of activity related to the self this month. Okay, so it's going to allow you to focus on yourself. Like I said before, that new moon solar eclipse, when it comes to either your body, your appearance, your outlook on life, anything having to do with you and yourself, maybe even your sense of self, whatever is necessary for you to sort of be the best version of you, I feel like the new moon solar eclipse is going to allow the universe to bring anything that's necessary in. New moon eclipses is when things are eclipsed into our lives. So maybe it's information that you're going to need to live your best life. Maybe it's advice, especially with respect to healing yourself. So stay open to the possibilities, particularly by the second half of the month when the new moon solar eclipse is going down, okay? But regardless, I feel like all of this first house energy is going to have you a bit self-centered. It's going to have you really focused on yourself. And I get the impression that's just how you like it. All right. You guys tend to be self-centered, and I don't mean any shade by that. But Aries is all about the self. It's the first sign of the zodiac. So it's all about us, our bodies, our physical life force energy. Okay, so keep in mind that any emotional triggers that come up this month are really a call to healing for you. Okay, and like I said, specifically as it relates to issues around self-esteem, self-worth, values, and all that good stuff. Okay. And speaking of values, come the second half of the month, you're going to have an emphasis on your second house of money, assets, and values, specifically when the sun goes into Taurus. So during Taurus season, this is the time when you're really focused on your money, you're focused on your assets, and you're really focused on the things that you value. Now, because the sun is going to be in Taurus, it's almost like that part of our identity that is connected to money, it's connected to assets, and it's connected to things that we value is going to be energized. It's going to come online, right? So you may find that you are more focused on these things, you talk more about these things, or they just tend to be emphasized in your life at this time, all right? Now, the other important thing for you to know with regards to your second house is that Mercury is going to be going retrograde in your second house at the later end of the month, or later half of the month, I should say. So at that time, you know, Mercury retrograde, it's not the cult phenomenon and shit show that everyone makes it out to be. It can be frustrating because your phone starts acting up, your computer breaks down, you know, all of that normal Mercury retrograde stuff. However, I always tell people that Mercury retrograde is a wonderful opportunity for a redo. And with Mercury going retrograde in your second house of money and material assets, when it comes to financial plans, maybe when it comes to business deals, anything having to do with money, finances, assets, you kind of get the chance to do it over. You kind of get the chance to revisit situations or maybe even relationships having to do with those things. It's also a great time for self-reflection because the second house has to do with values, specifically self-values and self-worth. So during Mercury retrograde, and Mercury is going to be retrograde from April 21st until maybe about the second or third week of May, this is going to be the perfect opportunity for you to reevaluate how you feel about yourself, what you think about yourself, and do things that can build up your confidence, your self-esteem, and your self-worth. So again, Mercury retrograde isn't the shit show that everyone makes it out to be. It's really a great time to renew, to reflect, reminisce, and to redo. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about is the emphasis on your seventh house of relationships. And this is going to be particularly important around the full moon in Libra going down on April 6th. So during Aries season, right, it's all about you. It's all about yourself, your body. But the full moon in Libra is also going to shine a light on your relationships, specifically any imbalances that may exist in your relationships. So for instance, maybe you are someone who is super headstrong, very much into yourself, and that may be to the detriment of your partner or your counterparts, or maybe vice versa. Maybe you're so much into your partnerships and that's the only way that you identify yourself, and you kind of get lost in relationships and have no real strong sense of self. I feel like the full moon in Libra is going to highlight any of those imbalances and give you the opportunity to put things in balance, all right? Now, the presence of Chiron in your first house is actually going to form an aspect to the full moon in Libra. So expect this to be a pretty emotional moon. Also expect it to be a time where you can do some serious healing, not only with respect to yourself and your self-worth, but also relationship issues, relationship emotional baggage that you've been carrying around for a while. So again, if I had to sum up April in a nutshell, I feel like it has a lot to do with you, how you value yourself, what you think about yourself, and your relationships, and how those relationships are truly a reflection of you. But regardless, I feel like April is going to be a great month for you if you use the energy to your advantage. All right. All right, Aries. So now that we've gotten the astrology out of the way, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you for this month. All right. All right. So start off with some oracle cards and see what we've got for you. All right. First card out is the Crossroads. All right, Aries, so there's definitely a decision that has to be made. I feel like some of you may be at an impasse this month. I get the sense that it has to do with your stability and your security. So this could be your job, this could be your money, this could be your business. You're trying to decide which way to go. And for some, it's like you're trying to figure out what would be best for you. Like what would make you happiest? What would bring you the most money? I feel like these are the questions that you're asking yourself at this time, particularly in April. All right. Next card we have is the Child. So something new is like afoot, okay? I feel like for some of you, this decision is like, should you go in a new direction or should you keep doing what you've been doing? Some of you are going to be offered a unique opportunity to do something new this month, okay? And I feel like you're weighing your options to see, all right, how do I make this work? Is this the right decision? And again, I want you to notice, so this card is a 22. This card is a 13. Both of these add up to 4. So this really has to do with a job, business, you know, you get the point. For some, I feel like this weighing that you're doing, this like trying to figure out which is which, has a lot to do with your partnership. So if you are partnered up, whether that's personal, like in a marriage or something like that, or even business, like you're trying to figure out like, how is this going to affect my partnership? What is my partner going to think about this? And so this impasse that you're at is kind of like, well, do I do what's best for me to the detriment of my partnership, or do I think about my partner in making this decision? So some of you may be having a really difficult time making this decision. And I feel like the full moon is really going to illuminate which direction you should go in. I highly suggest like, checking in with your spirit team. So meditate, do ritual work. Like, I feel like this isn't a decision that you should kind of shoulder alone. Not to say that you shouldn't make this decision in tandem with your partner, but I feel like, don't feel like you have to just decide. I feel like whatever this is pretty major. It's pretty significant. So allow your spirit team to help you make this decision is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's get one more oracle card. Oh, all right, Aries, we've got the Cross. So yeah, this is either a decision that's been weighing on you, or it's a very difficult decision to make, okay? For some, this may involve an actual child, which is why it's such a major decision. For others, I feel like this is bringing up, the fact that you have to make this choice is bringing up a childhood wound. Remember, I said that April is going to provide you unique opportunities for healing, specifically as it relates to self-esteem and self-worth. So some of you, this full moon or this decision that you have to make is really triggering wounds from childhood. And it feels like this. It feels like this cross that you have to bear, right? And Spirit is like, you do not have to shoulder this alone. I'm not too sure how familiar you guys are with the Bible, right? But how fitting is this that, you know, I'm filming this during Holy Week and this is the card that comes up. And at some point in Jesus's travels through Jerusalem when he was going to be crucified, there was someone that helped him carry his cross, right? And Spirit is like, allow us to help you with this. You don't have to carry this cross alone. You're not alone in making this decision. And even the healing work, lean on us. This is what your spirit team is saying. Lean on us in order to figure this out, heal this wound. You are not alone, nor do you have to do this alone. All right. Let's get some more. Let's get some more oracle cards here. Okay. We've got Love. So yeah, this has an impact. Wherever this decision is, it has an impact on your relationship. On someone that you love may be affected. It could be a child. It could be a partner. It could be a family member. Okay. But there is love here. Okay. I'm getting two things. You really love this person. And so your decision making is taking them into account. That's number one. Number two, This situation is really bringing you back to yourself in order to allow you to engage in self-love. Like, some of you have not been loving yourselves enough in the recent past. And one of the reasons why this particular situation is coming up the way that it is and is triggering you the way that it is because you have to get back to yourself. And you have to get back to basics. And getting back to basics has everything to do with self-love. Okay, so remember that. All right, we've got manifestation. I'm hearing two things. So this decision, this path that you need to go in, this new opportunity may be something that you manifested. And you've likely been manifesting this for a long time. For some of you, it is something that you've wanted to do or have or be since you were a child. So you being at this impasse, you being offered this new opportunity or this opportunity to go in a new direction is a long time coming, okay? And so that's why it's also so major, because it's like a manifestation that's coming to fruition. And you feel like you've got to make the right choice. But either way, you created this situation, okay? And that's not to say that you should blame yourself if you're triggered, or you should blame yourself if you find that you're being met with resistance with respect to, your partnership or whoever. It's just that this is something that you've manifested. Or this may be a pit stop on the way to your manifestation coming to fruition. Like, this could be one of the steps that leads you to the fulfillment of a manifestation that has been a long time coming. Okay. Oh, I love this. Abundance. All right, Aries. So for as much as this situation is difficult, is arduous, it's going to be equally as abundant. So if you've really been trudging through the mud, if you've really been experiencing hardship and obstacles, right? If you feel like the cross that you've had to bear is so heavy and the path is so long, that your abundance that you're going to receive it in the same measure as the hardship that you've been receiving. So either way, what I'm trying to say is that abundance is definitely on its way. Look at this. I love this. It's manifestation doubled. It's like twofold. It's so much more than you can expect, or that you expected, or that you could have even imagined. It's a manifestation that's going to be twofold. All right. I think that's such beautiful energy for you. All right. Let's get some more cards here. All right, first up, we've got the Ace of Wands. So yeah, you are definitely going in a new direction. Going in a new direction, being offered a new sort of opportunity. There's creation here. You created this opportunity. And look at you showing up to your reading, the Queen of Wands. You're fired up and very passionate about this. It's very important to you. It really has you in your feelings. It's definitely something like, the reason why this may feel like an arduous kind of decision that you have to make is because it's something that you really want. Remember, I said there's a real focus on you this month because the sun is going to be in your first house, or the sun is in your sign. So you really want to focus on you, but you have other people to think about, right? But you really want to indulge in your own passions and your own desires. I completely understand. All right. All right, we've got the King of Swords reversed. So there isn't much thinking going on here, meaning that I don't think you've thought this through. I think that this situation may require you to think about it a bit more than you have. I also feel like you haven't talked to anybody about this. Like, I feel like you've been kind of tight-lipped. Maybe you want to think about it before you say anything to your partner. Maybe you want to come to a decision in your mind before you discuss this with your partner or your family member or anything like that. But I feel like you've been tight-lipped, or you haven't been communicating about this situation to anyone, really. Yeah, we've got the Ten of Swords. This is really giving me the same vibes as this card right here. Like, you guys are very, Well, the thing is, the worst is over. I like to see the Ten of Swords because it means the worst has already happened. And now you can only go, the only way you can go is up. And I feel like the up is this new opportunity that you're being offered. So take solace in the fact that the worst is truly over and you can only go up from here. Oops. Yeah, we've got the Eight of Coins. So this is really about work. This is about what you do for a living. This could be a new job that may have you relocating, or it could be a job that's going to require you to, you know, work more, etc. But I feel like this really has to do with work. It has to do with business. And that's the new direction. Maybe for some of you, this is the time where you want to open your new business, where you want to engage in entrepreneurship, go out on your own and leave your job. And you're wondering, okay, is my partner going to be down with this? Like, what are they going to say? But I've wanted to do this for so long. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've always wanted to be a business owner. I get that for some of you, that's definitely the case. All right, we've got the Seven of Swords. You guys are being a little sneaky about this. Like I said, you're not really talking to anyone about this. You're trying to sort of move things in the background before you tell your partner. You're trying to figure things out before you let somebody know. Some of you, I feel like you aren't going to tell your partner, period, or you're not going to tell people, period. Like almost like you don't want people to influence you or affect what you're doing. So you're kind of just being sneaky about it. You're not talking about it. I feel like you're doing that to keep it private, to keep it safe. Until you make up your mind, you don't want to be influenced by anyone else. And again, I completely understand that. Last card we have is the Page of Cups. So when it comes to emotions, when it comes to how your partner may feel, I feel like you're slightly immature. You might not necessarily understand why your partner may feel a certain way when you tell them this. I feel like you're really, you're not giving your emotions much thought. You're not giving your emotions much attention when it comes to this, okay? The presence of this card also lets me know that this is a new opportunity that I feel like is going to make you feel really good. Again, some of you wanted this for a long time. It's a manifestation that's a long time coming. Maybe you've wanted this for a long time since you were a kid or since you were younger, and it just feels good. Like there's this element of like purity of emotions that I get the sense you feel when it comes to this particular new opportunity or new venture. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Nine of Swords. So you're definitely stressed out about this. I can imagine you would be stressed out because if you're being sneaky about it, you're not talking about it, you're afraid that maybe someone's going to find out or someone's going to spill the beans. So you're a little stressful about it. The fact that you have to make this major decision kind of by yourself has you a bit stressed out. But again, Spirit is like, lean on us and we will help you through this situation. All right, Aries. So looks pretty good. I feel like, again, you have this important decision to make, but if you allow Spirit to help you through it, I think that you're going to have the best possible outcome, not just for you, but for your partner as well. All right. All right, Aries. So that concludes this edition of the monthly astro forecast for you guys for April. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important piece of information that you can use going into the month. All right. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me or order a natal report or a progressed natal chart report, those links are going to be in the description box below. All right, my loves. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an amazing month and I will see you in my next video. Take care.